At Bootstrap, we want to understand what is Bootstrap and why developers, especially those who work on the front end, need to be using Bootstrap to develop web applications. So Bootstrap is a toolkit. It's a toolkit that comes packed with the CSS and very extensive JavaScript plugins. It's a toolkit that comes already compiled, so yours is just to build on top. So we are saying that with Bootstrap, then you can be able to create mobile responsive websites. This means websites that can be able to scale across devices, like for example, in a mobile phone, on a tablet, on a computer. Automatically, they are able to fit to scale. So let me show you a good example of what I'm saying. If you open like, for example, Safaricom website, you realize that the moment you view this website on a mobile phone, then the website automatically scales, and of course now the menus fold. But when you are viewing it on a desktop, then this is the view. So this scaling automatically can be quickly achieved using Bootstrap without writing much of CSS code. So we need to understand why Bootstrap. So Bootstrap has several versions. It has been, of course, in progressively being developed. We have Bootstrap 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 5 is the most latest release. So we want to see how then we can be able to achieve to develop a mobile responsive website without struggling so much to create your own, or rather to write your own CSS files. Okay, so number one, you need to be able to pick the version that you want to download. Then number two, you need to download the packages. So when you say, for example, let me say version 5, then automatically this is where it comes. You'll be able to read much of the bundles, sorry, the starter kit, and a few. I want to download, I want to go straight and download Bootstrap. So I just need to visit getbootstrap.com, getbootstrap.com. So under getbootstrap.com, then you should be able to get the link for download. So let me look at it. Here it is. So you just need to click download. Then now you click download. So when you download, Bootstrap package comes compiled. Inside the download folder, you may find two things. One, you will find a folder for JS and another folder for CSS. So I just want to extract the content somewhere on my computer. Of course, I've done that. Then now from there, I go to the folder where I extracted the content, and then I'll just rename the mother folder to the name of the project that I want to create. So I want to create a website for a barber shop, and this barber shop is called Teule Kinyozi. So Teule Kinyozi is the name of my new project. So when you open that folder, you find this the CSS folder, of course, with files, and then the JS folder with also some libraries. So we are going to build on top. So now from there, you can open your editor. You can open your editor, either Sublime Text or Visual Studio Code, or whichever editor that you're using. Then you just open folder, go to your project, kawaida, the way you do. Then you select Teule Kinyozi, select. Then of course you should be able now to see your editors. Your editor has opened now your project here. So of course there are no files. So as usual, you need to create files. For those who are using Visual Studio Code, of course you just need to do something similar. Visual Studio Code. Then you say open file, open folder, access the project folder. So my project folder is in the desktop and it is called Teule Kinyozi. So I just say select, and then of course now here it comes. So if you, of course, you have the CSS and the JS folders and the files, but we don't have now the HTML files. So we want to create the files. So we just need to do as usual. You click this file button, that icon. Then now you create your index.html file. If you remember, we said that anytime you are starting a new project, then index.html becomes the very first file to create. Then, of course, you can now create the other files. You can have a file called services.html. Sorry, we need to create services.html. Then we also create maybe about.html. Then now you create maybe another one more, contact.html. So we are done with the HTML file. So I just need to generate now the boilerplate template for HTML as usual. This is which file? About us file. About us. Then I go to contact. I also generate the boilerplate template for HTML, and of course I change the title. The title here is contact, and then now I also generate the boilerplate template once again for HTML5. Then of course I set the home page title, and maybe now lastly my services page. I also do the same. So this is our services title. So straight to the point, we need now to link up to the most important files. So there's a file here that we may start with, which is called bootstrap.min.css. This file, you don't need to know much of the content. Of course, the content is just a combination of classes, CSSs, and even the target objects. So this is okay. Once you're done, you can, of course, now do the linking in the head. You can do the linking in the head. Of course, when you're linking to CSS, usually we just type link tag as usual. Then you type the mother folder and then the file itself. So my file here, I said let us start with bootstrap.min.css. Then the other file that we need to link is in this JS folder, and this file is called bootstrap.min.js. So just need to come here, and then I create the script tag, then I define the source, and the source will be the folder JS, and then the name of the file bootstrap.min.js. So I need these two files. I need these two links across all the pages. So in my about us page, in my contact, I need these two. I need these two. In my index, I need these two, and in my services I still need those two. So I am now ready to begin. Just to test whether really we are connected, we may test two very important classes to see really whether we are connected. So there's a class in Bootstrap called container and another class called container fluid. Class container creates some padding, no sorry, some margin on either sides, either left or right. It creates some margin, but class container fluid doesn't leave that margin. So like for example, I can have a paragraph, can create a paragraph, and with this paragraph I put some content. Of course, let me just put some lorem. So this is my dummy content. At this point I can introduce the class called container, and then I also create another paragraph. I also put similar content, and then I give this paragraph class container fluid. So let us see the difference, and still we use that to test whether really we connected to Bootstrap successfully. This is just a matter of testing. So open your application, confirm whether really there is the difference. Yeah, you can see class container leaving this margin, and then class container fluid not leaving anything. So this means really I have successfully connected to Bootstrap. Thank you for watching. Let us meet in the next class.